This video was brought to you in part by thepixelempire.com. If you want to get your hands on some TV, movie, and game original design wall prints that look awesome in any bedroom or any part of the house even, please go to the description to check out the site, and also use the coupon code CADDY in big capital letters on checkout to get 15% off of any order. Hello everybody, and recently I've been having a tinker around with Downwell on iOS. So can I please get an intro now? So, Downwell, the only iOS game I've actually properly talked about in depth since Slaying a few months ago. And is there a reason for that? Honestly, no. I was just browsing the iTunes store one day, saw Downwell in the store, saw the reviews, they were very good, saw that it was cheap as fuck, and just thought, why not? I mean, I've got nothing else to play in between the bigger videos, so let's give this a go. And I'm glad I did, because this game is fantastic, and I wouldn't give an iOS game much high attention in any regular circumstance, but this game is different. I haven't put it down for 2 weeks straight. Mostly on the toilet, I must admit. In Downwell, you control a thing with guns for boots, and for some unknown reason you must descend and descend through layers of the earth in a seemingly endless hole to salvage gems because video games. On his or her journey, this thing is not safe, however, for there are tons of deadly creatures that are literally going to eat you. Everything from frogs to Metroid-like jelly creatures, and they will show you no mercy. To avoid these, the pre-mentioned gun boots come into play, because after every jump you hit jump again to fire directly below you, and not only does that attack enemies, but it also kind of cushions you with the recoil of the gun to help you fall into the unknown. This is all the game is: move left, right, jump and fire downwards, yet with those 3 button inputs and only 4 or 5 actions in the whole game, not only is this one of the most addictive and well-designed games I've played in recent memory, but also probably one of the most difficult I've played in recent memory. Probably the most difficult in terms of ratio from simple game design to intense difficulty. The controls are tight and the physics feel perfect, everything from the jumping arcs to the bouncing off of enemies, and even the recoil you get from the guns. The feedback that you get from each weapon as you almost glide across the screen with every shot. It's fantastic. But those things won't help you from the onslaught this game throws at you. It really is a hectic son of a bitch, which is really funny because in most games like this you'd be rewarded for your speed. And in this game, yeah, you get through the stages quicker and you can probably, if you're really lucky, save all of your health, but to be honest, you don't actually get that many bonuses at all for being fast. If anything, you make the game harder for yourself. Instead, this is a game about trying to be careful and avoiding speed wherever possible, which is much harder than it sounds because of the insane speed you can reach while falling into the unknown things lurking in the depths. So the game not only rewards you for being slow and steady by allowing you to collect as many gems as possible to then buy things in the shops, etc., and of course contribute to all the unlocks you get from the total pot of gems in the main menu, but of course to also stay alive. And starting off with only 4 hit points and you're dead, that is actually much harder than it sounds. The only times you're actually rewarded for very fast gameplay are when you pick up enough gems, 100 of them, in a certain time limit to activate a gem high. Once you get a gem high, your attractiveness to gems increases briefly and your power to your gun is also increased, and you have to keep collecting gems within a shorter time limit to keep the gem high going. Basically, there's a lot to this tiny little game, and you'll die so many times just trying to get your head around its craziness. I mean, true story, I died 3 times in a row on level 1 before I even knew what the fuck was going on. You don't just have to get the hang of staying alive, but also you have to get the hang of all of your uses of your one action button. And the weapon that you're holding at the time doesn't just act as a great cushion to stop you from falling too fast and help you see what the fuck's going on, but it also attacks whatever is directly below you. So depending on what you have, whether it be a straight shot, ultra powerful yet low ammo laser, or a rapid fire multiple ammo ridiculous machine gun, you have to work out a new tactical approach on the fly with how you descend into the abyss. So for the pre-mentioned examples, yeah, if you have the laser, you'll be able to nearly eliminate anything that's below you, but of course you can't control how many blocks you destroy on the way down as well to stop you from descending to a quick falling death. And since it's only 2 shots initially, and you have to stand on a surface to reload your shots, it can't really carry you across the screen or stop you from falling that fast in mid-air. Or if you have the machine gun, brilliant, it combats all of that because you can fly across the screen for a careful descent with the amazing amount of ammo the gun has, but the power and reliability of the weapon is another thing. It's very slim. Everything within the game itself is generated randomly every time you play it to help things keep fresh and tricky. But the way that you strategize your play also changes with every new game, because not only when you reset or die, everything in the game resets back to its default settings, but also within the game itself, all of the tactical decisions I just talked about with weaponry and everything, all of they can change at complete random, even within the game itself. Occasionally you'll come across these shields in the stage which, once you enter them, you'll halt time. A very, very cool addition, because it allows you to take a breather and a break for however you want it. Very, very fucking cool, especially with a game this fast and hectic. But not only do they stop time for you, but they also lead to shops where you can buy extra health, more ammo, or different random upgrades such as that, or of course they can lead to other random caves where there's more gems to collect, or you can find other weapons in there with ammo or health stapled to them. These new weapons and everything though, they can only be used one at a time, so like I said, your playstyle adapts and changes depending on what you've got. You've got to make the choice here. Do you love the gun that you have but not have much health? Well, if you find a gun that you completely hate but it has one bit of health stapled to it, you may have to sacrifice that gun that you love and try out a new playstyle with a gun that you hate just for that extra bit of life. Or maybe you've got too much health and a gun that you like, but in order to get that permanent ammo upgrade that you desperately need, again, you might need to sacrifice another gun to try out another one. This game is all about adapting and sacrificing, and it's these sweet, blissful and rare moments when you find an upgrade stapled to a gun that you really desperately want that make you keep coming back. It's those rare moments of utter joy that make you keep coming back. It's also worth replaying to test out all of the permanent character upgrades at the end of every single stage. Yep, in each run you beat a stage, and the average is 3. Again, it depends on your playstyle that you pick at the very beginning of the game, but you get to choose between 3 different permanent character upgrades. Stuff like every time you pick up a gem, a bullet shoots upwards, or you eat dead bodies of enemies to regenerate health. Stuff like that. It's a great reward. And again, it's different every time, so it makes it feel fresh, exciting, and almost devilish and disappointing in some runs. It almost feels like Binding of Isaac in a really weird way. And considering that not only do the enemies all have different behaviours, but also have different entire methods of killing them, such as only being able to jump on some and not touching some at all without losing some health, it's those things that make you want to keep replaying and trying out all these different playstyles. As far as complaints go though, the game isn't perfect, so let's get to brass tacks. Firstly, the frame drop every time you get hit. I know this game is on PC as well, so I don't know how it fares there, but on iOS at least, every time you get hit, the game stutters like shit. Bearing in mind you can die extremely easily, and the game itself can be far too fast paced to keep up with sometimes, these frame drops serve as a horrid distraction. If they're programmed into the game deliberately, then that's a really, really cheap move. And if not, well, again, they're just a massive distraction that can get you killed within seconds, because not even the brief invincibility window can help you regain your footing from the distraction that you get from the frame dropping. Secondly, a slightly more prominent issue I have is the fact that after every death, all the gems you collected in that round then go into a total pot in the main menu, and once that pot gets to a certain number, you can unlock many different things, ranging from different playstyles, which are very useful, and they can be picked at the beginning of every round you play, such as more health but less ammo, or less ammo and more shops and random shit like that. Or they can be palette swaps. When I got my first palette swap, I was happy to see them, and it did change up the game a little bit, and when I picked up the Game Boy and Virtual Boy ones, I kind of overloaded on the cuteness factor. But the point is, at the end of the day, they are pointless unlocks, completely pointless unlocks, and they don't serve to do anything other than distract you with how bad and ugly some of them are. Like, I get that some were supposed to be a joke and in good fun and blah blah blah, but the point is, when I play the game for so long and then unlock a blue and orange colour palette, it makes me feel like I've completely wasted my time, because I'm never going to use it, and I don't know anyone who would use it because it's ugly as shit and it makes the game harder to play, and I just don't understand. And the new playstyles that you can unlock, along with the palettes, they're limited, so that novelty runs out pretty quickly. Does it deter me much from the urge to replay the game? Not at all, but still, I found it a questionable design choice. To end on something more positively though, this soundtrack is awesome. That's all I've got to say. So overall, after tinkering around with Downwell on iOS, I'd give the game a commendable. Despite all of the frame dropping every time you get hit, and the pointless cosmetic fluffy unlocks that you get with the palette swaps, not giving me the proper incentive to actually replay sometimes, the oh my god fuck off and die price tag, the overall quality despite everything that I've mentioned on an iOS game, where I never play iOS games, I can't seem to stop playing this one, and it's almost converted me in a weird way because it's now proved to me if you want to make an Android or iPhone game, when it's done right, it can be done brilliantly. And with the PC version of this game, I'd even consider going into unbelievable perhaps, purely because of the frame dropping, if that's fixed, and the fact that you have more precise button inputs instead of a touchscreen. If you're looking for the ultimately difficult yet extremely punching and satisfying challenge on the bus, on the train, or on the shitter, then this game may be worth a shot. But fair warning, you may find that you won't be able to put it down. Farewell everybody, and until next time, take care.
Hi there everybody, thanks so much for watching this video. Click on the screen right now to look at some other random videos, and please go into the description to find my Games Grabber collection, where you can find what equipment I use to make my videos and all the new games I'm buying, playing, sticking on my shelves, with links to get them yourself. It's really, really cool. And if it's your birthday today or watching this video, happy frickin' birthday to you, and please remember to stay beautiful.
Some can't be touched whatsoever, you know, it's things like that that make you think, fuck. As far as complaints go though, this game isn't perfect, and there's a few reasons for that. And I'll tell you what those reasons are, except I've forgotten the script. Bearing in mind you can... Oh, I'm looking at the script and I can't remember like one sentence. This is who you're subscribed to, people. This is who you're subscribed to.